Forget that women will break rules for alphas and make them for betas. So when a woman says something like, I don't do that, in your head, if she's saying I don't do that, she's basically moving you more towards the beta category, and you need to add in your head with me. So if you say something to her like, I want to do this in the bedroom, or I want to introduce this in the bedroom, let's do that. You know, the intimacy level stuff, let's just deal with that more specifically. She was walking down the street with a glass of water in her hand and you were on fire. She'd probably keep walking while drinking the glass of water, okay? Like, you're not going to get any benefit out of throwing money at a woman. She's got to have genuine burning desire for you. You can't buy your way into her heart.
Today, we'll look at what social media is doing to women's brains and its negative impact on women, because we've heard that women who use social media apps are unsuitable for marriage. So is that correct? So that we can make an informed decision about whether or not to date women who are active on social media. Keep in mind that not all women on social media are 304s or attention seekers, and that some women have legend businesses that make a lot of money, such as a YouTube channel or an Instagram business page. So just because a woman has social media does not mean that everything is black and white. With that in mind, would I ever date a woman from social media? No. My reasoning is that I cannot compete with that smartphone or the plethora of men to which they have access. If her hobby is social media, that, in my opinion, is a huge red flag. Just keep in mind that if you only talk to women who don't use social media, your pool of women will be very small. The same is true if you want to do that for long-term relationships. Today, we'll look at 2 articles to show why men say don't mess with women on social media apps. The first is a ThriveWorks article titled, How Social Media Affects Women's Mental Health. For the purposes of this video, we'll only be focusing on the negatives. Almost everyone with a smartphone has at least one social app to which they devote some time, but the effects of social media do not affect everyone equally. How and why does social media affect women's mental health more than men's? Women typically have larger social followings and networks, which means that more people are engaging with their posts and accounts. However, with greater engagement comes increased time spent on social apps. As a result, both positive and negative interactions with other users and the content that others post may naturally increase. Because our brains are biased toward negative information, the negative effects of social media on women's mental health tend to be highlighted more than the positives. However, while there are some positive effects of social media on women, the negative effects may outweigh them. The majority of the disadvantages of social media for women are related to issues of body image or feelings of social isolation, and include the following. Number 1, younger women in particular are more likely to try to cope with painful emotions or pre-existing mental health conditions by posting humorous content or browsing pseudo-mental health pages, rather than seeking professional help. On TikTok, there was a trend of women self-diagnosing themselves for mental health diseases, rather than seeking professional help, all in the name of gaining attention. It's as if having a mental illness is something to be proud of, and it's all because of social media. I'm not sure what to say because you guys are still dating these crazy women who show and tell you that they're crazy. If you don't want BS, don't date women who have mental illnesses and live a double life on social media. I can't feel sorry for some of you because you deliberately ignored every red flag. Second, Instagram use increases the likelihood of women developing body image issues, owing to unrealistic or photoshopped content created by influencers they follow or peers. Third, women with darker skin tones may be steered towards skin whitening solutions as a result of targeted advertisements, whereas women with lighter skin tones may be encouraged through a similar process to seek out potentially dangerous tanning solutions that increase their risk of cancer. In a study of over 900 people, approximately 75% of whom were women aged 26 to 35, those who spent more time on social media reported increased feelings of loneliness, as well as symptoms of smartphone addiction. Every influencer is advertising either the fake or ideal versions of themselves out into the world, and normal women cannot even come close to imitating or competing against them without using filters, Photoshop, makeup, implants, waist trainers, and so on. Putting implants in to look better is a huge red flag in my book, and those women should not be taken seriously at all. Let's take a look at the next Forbes article. According to research, Instagram use is associated with major depression, lower self-esteem, anxiety, and body dissatisfaction. One study looked at the frequency of Instagram use and discovered that it was linked to all of these negative outcomes. Number 2, posting selfies has an impact on mood. A 2018 study found that college-aged women who took and posted selfies had worse moods and felt less attractive. Surprisingly, these negative outcomes occurred even when participants were allowed to retake and retouch their photos. In 2010, the third most popular social media platform increased the desire for cosmetic surgery. Fourth, one study examined the brain activity of adolescents in relation to Instagram likes. The participants' brain activity increased when they were shown photos with more likes, and when their own photos received likes, the brain's reward center was activated, leading the researchers to conclude that a like is a social cue specific to an adolescent's cultural sphere. Number 5. Photo manipulation is a problem for body image. Photos are easily manipulated these days to remove eye bags, wrinkles, and impurities, as well as reshape legs to be thinner and waist to be slimmer. According to one study, it resulted in a decrease in one's own body image, particularly in adolescent girls. The sad part is that they are literally causing themselves harm. I always say that men are here to protect women from themselves, and this proves my point that women are their own worst enemies. I just covered those points, gentlemen, and there are studies for each of these negative consequences that have some validity to prove that these are the things that men will have to deal with when dating women on social media, especially if your girl is addicted. She will experience some, if not all of these issues. So do you want to deal with those issues, or do you prefer to remain single? All you have to do is make a decision. Don't forget to hit the like button to help spread the word about this video. Thank you for taking your daily dose of red pills, and remember that a red pill a day keeps bad poker hands away. So have a good rest of your day and cheers.